A very good evening, Team Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And this evening, let us take a look on what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. SADC has advised that President Emmerson Mnangagwa is set to assume the chairmanship of the rotational SADC role. So this is what is happening, and it's said that a lot of people have been expecting something different, but SADC is continuously backing President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Remember, this is the SADC secretariat of SADC on behalf of the heads of states. So the executive secretary of SADC, Elias Magosi, paid a courtesy call on President Emmerson Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. And in a statement, they said that Elias Magosi paid a courtesy call on the incoming chairperson of the SADC, His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, on 22nd May 2024, as Zimbabwe prepares to assume the rotational chairship of SADC at the 44th Summit of Heads of State and Government. Remember, there are issues at stake right now. There are issues which the people in the nation of Zimbabwe, particularly the opposition led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa, is raising. But it seems as if it has been ignored by SADC Secretariat. And Emmerson Mnangagwa is set to take over from the president of Angola, who is the outgoing chairperson. And the SADC chairperson oversees the highest level of governance structure of SADC. And among others is the overall mandate of providing policy direction and controlling the factions of SADC. So the major question is, did the Angolan president fail to play this role? Because what the SADC has done in this statement, they've actually given information which is very critical and very important. We have been talking about these issues. We have been raising these issues. But it's sad to see that the plight of the people of Zimbabwe has been ignored. However, we wait to see what is going to happen at the SADC summit, because some people are saying that the heads of state will not need to call another summit before the summit which is going to happen in Zimbabwe, but they will need to talk about this issue during that summit, where they will agree if President Emmerson Mnangagwa is going to assume the leadership or not. So Mnangagwa welcomed the SADC executive secretary in this delegation to the State House and highlighted that the government of Zimbabwe remained committed to the SADC principles and foundation of fostering peace and security for the region to achieve regional integration and sustainable socio-economic development. And we do not know if this is the truth, because we have not seen the final SOM report, which is part of the principles and the protocols of SADC, has not been actioned. The incoming SADC chair said that the preparations of the 44th SADC summit and the preceding meetings and side events were on course, and that he was looking forward to hosting a successful SADC summit and steering the regional bloc to advance implementation of SADC regional integration and development programs. On his part, the SADC executive secretary briefed the incoming chair on a wide range of issues aimed at facilitating Zimbabwe's chairship of SADC, which included highlights of Zimbabwe's responsibilities in hosting SADC meetings, the key legal frameworks governing SADC operations, and the SADC institutional arrangement as spelled out in the SADC treaty. His Excellency Magosi also briefed the incoming SADC chair on the operations of the secretariat and the status of implementation of regional programs as articulated in Regional Indicative Strategic Plan RSDP 2020 to 2030. Shared these ideas to expedite progress on regional integration and industrialization, and sought guidance. So this is what is happening in Zimbabwe. The rest of the letter does not matter at this point in time, but I think we've covered very important issues. What is happening is that the SADC Secretariat has confirmed that indeed they want President Emmerson Mnangagwa to assume the chairship of SADC, despite the fact that there are so many disagreements over the SOM report, where some people believe that the elections in Zimbabwe were never conducted fairly and freely as per the SADC protocols, as well as the guidelines of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. So what is happening is said, and as usual, there is nothing the people of Zimbabwe can do beyond what is happening at this point in time. But we cannot lose hope, because remember, the president of Angola is still chair up until President Emmerson Mnangagwa assumes that leadership. So there is a possibility that they will sit down during the summit. They will have to talk about this issue. They will have to agree about that issue and see if President Mnangagwa is suitable to assume the chairmanship. But if the SADC agrees that President Mnangagwa assumes the chairmanship, there is nothing the people of Zimbabwe can do to stop it. What will happen is that the people of Zimbabwe will have to rely on the internal activities. But let us remember that there are certain prophecies which we shared right here, where Prophet Peter Wellington spoke much about SADC failing to deal with these matters. And I think I will need to bring that prophecy where Prophet Peter Wellington said, do not trust SADC. Don't think that your salvation or your freedom shall come from SADC. He said it clearly and said that Zimbabwe's change shall come from other quarters, from within the country, not without the country, which means at this juncture, at this point in time, SADC seems to be ineffective. It seems as if they failed to deal with this matter. As I always say, without South Africa on board, it's very difficult for SADC to make a clear decision, because it seems as if South Africa is the America of SADC. So it's interesting to note that those in South Africa, the leadership in South Africa, it seems as if they support the status quo, they support what is happening, and actually they are allies. Kwakune rally, ANC, ZANU-PF attended, and it seems as if they were very, very happy to be in attendance in that rally. And, as usual, we also, Nafikile Mbalula and the rest, attacking the opposition in Zimbabwe. The last group of the ANC, which stood with the people of Zimbabwe, was the group of Esma Khashule. But Esma Khashule was then fired from ANC, was removed from his position forcibly, because they were taking a different stance on ZANU-PF altogether. They wanted things to change, but what happened is that Cyril Ramaphosa then sacked Esma Khashule because of what they were working on, and the captured team of ANC then went back to start supporting ZANU-PF as usual. So this is what is happening. There is no hope from SADC. SADC has announced that they've prepared enough to let President Emmerson Mnangagwa take over the chairmanship of SADC. Let us talk in the comment section. What are your thoughts?